I mean, you got to speak up, motherfucker. I hear
Yeah,
you.
you got the two, and I said, "Yep." And
You know what?
I was,
Bump my recording down to 0.2. How's that? Then I want more pop
well,
with you.
I couldn't help it because like I get a message from T Rad saying, Sierra's married to Russell Wilson, and so
Hey.
like I was just like, wow. So I had to hit it with the and gifts. Like,
Hit her with the rolly eyes, bro. Hit her with them rolly eyes.
welcome to 2020. What the fuck? Uh, yeah. I guess there's not really. I can sit here and keep on watching Big Breaker. We can intro this motherfucker. So get that big yawn out. Get that big yawn out. Stretch it out. And hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Proficient Fans. My name is CB, and with me is
Clay Haggard. Once again, if you guys forgot, two-time balls deep fantasy football champion. Thank you. Go ahead, CB.
This guy.
Out of left field. You weren't even ready for it. You thought I was done gloating about fantasy football.
Fuck.
Nope, still a champion. In case you forgot, just reminding you.
That's
Side note. No, never mind. It's a football topic. We'll get into it later. How was your week, CB?
The week was, look at you taking the lead on the how's the week. It was dope, man. I had a nice little 3-day weekend. Today was the last day of my 3-day weekend, so I kicked it, did shit around the house, and had some company over last night where we just sat, grilled out and just kicked it, man. It was a dope evening, laid back, and it was kind of good to socialize with people. But I mean, like, didn't let them in the house, in the backyard, stayed, kept our social distancing. But it was nice to entertain, and this is coming from somebody that doesn't like people at his house, so it was good money, and it was a good little vibe. So, how about you, man? How was the week?
It was good. Oof.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, that whiskey. But
let that tickle in nut hairs.
Who said I got nut hairs, baby?
I'm sorry. Day growth.
Yeah. I was like ready for you to say a joke and you just went silent. I'm like, all right, guess guess we're just gonna leave the nut hairs there. I like to make sure I'm always hang there. Hey, I always like to keep them fresh and clean, know what I'm saying? So, anyways.
I like to keep it sophisticated.
It was sophisticated. He said, "You ever see Woodstock?"
like to keep a nice fade,
Yeah, right. I thought.
When sometimes shit. I grow it out and then I hit that Gumby.
Oh, dude, you don't ever braid them. You don't ever get them Allen Iverson braids down there.
I haven't done the cornrows yet.
Oh man, missing out. So, anyways, off the pubic. No, man, it was a good week.
This is gonna be the Instagram post this week. Is just talking about how to fucking take care of your nut hairs.
Episode 87.
I'll do the My Little Pony braid off to the left-hand side.
It'll just be episode 87. Bush. And you guys don't want to know the album art. You guys don't want to know what kind of art we're talking. I don't think y'all want to see that Google image search. Corn roll.
You may think it's a man's hairy armpit, but oh no, my friend. Oh no.
That is the 1970 area.
That is 1970 fucking thick, musky smelling. A little hint of pee down there. Yeah. So, wait, what podcast are we recording this week? No.
Back to proficient pubes.
I was just.
It's either proficient pubes or pubic fans. One of the two.
Whichever one you want to rock with, people. We're here.
Which PF we talking? Oh. Pubic fans or proficient fans?
Oh shit! What happened with your week, man?
Proficient pubic fans.
There we go.
No, good week. Part of my intro, part of the first thing I wanted to talk about, I don't remember what day it was last week, but my mom does, obviously, my mom, hip flipping mama, always selling shit on eBay, does her jewelry auctions on Wednesday nights, all that fun stuff.
On steroids right now.
Mm-hmm. So she's got some friends, Anthony and Nate, and they each have their own YouTube channel. Anthony's YouTube channel, Pittsburgh, that's Picks Berg, Pittsburgh, and Nate does Every Day I'm Hustling, no G, hustling. So, anyways, they do a show together, a live show, every other day or every day, but the alternate channels. Nonetheless, it's called Ecom and Beyond, where they talk about e-commerce, so reselling, selling strategies, things like that. And they have actually invited me on the show. So they
That's up.
invited me on the show. I got to go on there live. Obviously, I plugged Proficient Fans. They asked me a couple questions, kind of went through some backstory. I didn't mean to, but I did get into a little bit of conversation about social injustice, and just kind of like, I don't know, I just kind of let my emotions speak for me. I had just got done with an hour-long conversation with my work team, my online work team, and we had a long discussion about social injustice and race and the protesting and just everything going on. Man, Verizon took a stand and they spoke out on the social injustice, which was absolutely phenomenal. And so anyways, I touched base on that. We talked sports. I talked CB. We talked about friendship. We talked about like charisma. We talked about how like you and I have this special like bond. This we feed off of each other's energy, and
Right.
that's what makes great content. We talked about baseball cards, football cards. I mean, we talked about a whole bunch of stuff, man. And they're just super cool, genuine, authentic people. So for anyone out there, if you're interested in e-commerce, if you're just interested in just good quality content, if you're ever thinking about you wanting to sell some stuff on eBay, sell some stuff on Amazon, or you just want to drop in for the occasional sports talk, because they will meander in that topic also, check out Ecom and Beyond. They do it live. I forgot what time. I'm going to say 10 a.m. if I'm not mistaken. And you can check out Anthony on his YouTube channel at Pittsburgh, and you can check out Nate at his YouTube channel called Every Day I'm Hustling. Both super cool dudes, very welcoming,
That's what's up.
and super knowledgeable, man. Super knowledgeable and super cool. So they put out great quality content. I mean, I told them they were getting a plug. I was 100% making sure they got the plug, because they were nothing but kind to me when I was on their show. So I was very appreciative for that.
Very
Hopefully
dope.
I'll get on there again, man. I had a lot of fun. I was just on there for a quick like 10-15. Next time I jump on there, I want to learn a little bit more about what they do and how it involves with sports. Just because that's my forte. Kind of get that talk going a little bit. So they started
Right.
showing me their Zion rookie cards. Started showing me their
Uh.
LeBron rookie cards, and I was like, "Yo, you can send me that Bron card. If you don't want it, like I'll take it off your hands.
They're
if I
like,
have to."
yeah, 250.
Can you really put a price tag on friendship?
250.
He goes, "Yeah, 250, free shipping, bitch."
Yeah, right. Yo, UPS is on me, motherfucker.
So, no, man, good week though. Good
That's
week.
what's up.
Justin came down over the weekend, watched the UFC fight, so that was fun. We got to go shoot around in golf. It was a good
That's
time.
it.
Yep.
Yeah, that was that. I mean, I thought it was really cool. When you guys hit me up and called me to watch the fight with you guys.
Yeah, man.
Video conference, and that was fun, man.
Yeah. So just kind of getting off the bat, man. What'd you think about the card?
Oh, great card. I mean, I think Dana's done a very good job of this guy. Hey, I was gonna get to that. Oh, this guy. Yeah, that happened.
That's for you, Justin. That's for you, Nick.
I made it to the
Oh!
second to last fight before it happened.
Let me tell the story, because you weren't there. Clearly you weren't there. So we're gonna go back and talk prelims, because I got a couple guys I want to call out. But guys, you'll never believe this shit. So I set up my laptop and I Facebook messaged Nick and CB, which is 100% not violating any laws whatsoever. And I was showing them the UFC fight the other night, and I think it was right around like the second or maybe the fight before Amanda Nunes.
It was the fight right before Amanda Nunes. I do know that.
Yeah, so it was Cody Garbrandt.
Yeah.
Cody Garbrandt and Rafael. Not even gonna try it. I give up. But anyways, and all of a sudden I hear like a snore, and I thought it was Justin because it was loud. I look over, No, Justin's awake. And sure enough, I go and look at the laptop, and it just clicks, and CB is sawing logs on the mic, y'all. We're watching UFC, and me, Justin, and Nick could not stop laughing. So, of course, I recorded it. I only sent it to us four because that's all that matters. But, dude, it was hilarious. And I was shocked, too, because, like, every time we talk about, like, yo, who should we send the login to watch the fight? I remember the first time it happened, Justin was like, oh, we'll send it to CB. I go, whoa, whoa, whoa. Go, one, CB has other options to watch the fight. And two, CB can't stay up that damn late. I go, he will fall asleep. But don't worry, I thought about you. Mama Haggard actually called up and asked if she could get the login, and like 10 minutes later, Nick calls and it was like, yo, so you want to give me that login? And we're like, ooh. So super awkward, but fucking hilarious moment. Go ahead with what you're about to say, man. I just that story had to, because I know Justin's probably still in tears right now from listening. So
when I woke up next morning, I saw, like, I was just like, and I'll be honest, like, Snapchat's not like the first thing I ever go to.
Sure.
And I was going through my day, and I looked, I go, huh, what's this? And I saw it was from you. And I was waiting for, I'm surprised that, like, I was surprised because, like, I fell asleep. I woke up, and I'm like, oh, fuck, I fell asleep. I bet you I snored. You got to have a great laugh about that. Whatever, I fucking moved on. Then I saw Snapchat, and I saw your name, and
where were you when
I
you went?
I was in my living room. I was in my living room. I was hoping you were in public. And I sat there, and I was just like, let's see what this is. And first thing's on the fucking screen, and I go, oh, here we go. And I was like, oh, yeah, fuck, I'm loud.
Oh, man.
So, like, yeah, that was a little nuts. So what I was gonna say about the fight, though, was
I guarantee you were watching that on your phone like this, and you fell asleep with it on your chest. You were like,
no, I actually,
where was it?
Because I had my laptop up, and I had the phone set up right on my laptop, and I was sitting there, and I was just like,
okay,
and I was laying there like this,
because I couldn't see you on the video, like I couldn't see you on the webcam.
Oh, I was on the couch, man. I fucking passed out.
It was dark. It was dark. We couldn't tell, but it was super funny. All right, I'm done interrupting you. Dana White, go.
Oh yeah, no. What I was gonna say, even though I missed, the main card, but
too soon.
Was the fact that I've been highly impressed with the amount of talent that he's been in fights that he's been able to put on without being able to bring any outside fighters from the United States, from outside the United States, in to come fight. There's been 3 cards this month. The 3 cards. Has it been three cards that he's done? Last night was his 3rd one.
I think there's been 4. I think there's been 2 in Jacksonville and 2 in Vegas.
Okay. Last night, this week was the first Vegas one. But anyways, he is.
The Teron Woodley fight was in Vegas.
Was it?
Him and Burns.
You're right, because it was the first fight that they did at the Apex Center. You're absolutely right. But I mean, everybody's been, pretty much just from here in the States. Now he's able to get Nunes, and he's even stated in an interview this week, he's like, yo, like, the reason why Fight Island's going to be great is because I can get people. He's like, I got other fighters all around the world that I got to try and get fights for, and it's hard because, of the travel bans that are going on and everything. So, but I was once again impressed with the fighters that he had. Those I'll be honest, I don't recall a bad fight.
Yeah, Woodley Burns.
No, I mean, okay. I'm talking.
Matchups,
I'm talking about this past this weekend though.
Yeah.
This card is what I guess I should say.
And just for clarification for listeners, like, there are fighters from other countries like Brazil and other places. They're just residing within the states.
Yeah.
So just to be 100% clear on that. But yeah, nonetheless, no one traveling internationally.
But
no one's coming in.
If you look at that fight card though, most of all of them were had the United States flags right next to them. So
agreed.
I did watch Amanda Nunes fight though, and she is by far the best fighter in the world.
Oh, let's go, bro.
Dude.
Her track record and her win count.
Like they're sitting there and they're like, you're the only female to ever do this show. I'm like, you're the best female. I'm like, no, she's the best fucking fighter, man. Like, and
male or female.
Male or that's the reason why I'm saying just fighter, man. Like she is a monster. And Tara got a little excited about getting ready to watch the fight, and then she's like, "Oh, what time's that fight start?" I'm like, "Well, the main card's gonna start around 11." She goes, "Ha! I'm going to bed." I was like, "That's what's up." So, but I don't know. I thought it was a great card. What did you have on it? I mean,
it was great. One, it was fun because I got to watch with Justin, so it's always fun being able to like have that camaraderie while you're enjoying a sport event like that. Be able to talk to one another and react to the fight together. But from a fight standpoint alone, man, there were so many good quality fights. Like there weren't a lot of fights, whether it was prelim or main card, that weren't quality. All quality.
Yeah.
So as far as my fights, because obviously, I've been a betting man lately on these fights. So of course your boy went balls to the wall, and I had a 5-fight parlay, which is pretty stupid, and I bet quite a bit of money on it. But I had almost $400 coming to me had I gotten all these fights right. And I got 4 of the 5, CB. I got 4 of the 5. I was so close. So first matchup I wanted to touch on was a featherweight fight between Cody Stamann and Brian Kelleher. And Cody Stamann actually went to high school with one of my work friends. They went to the same high school together.
Yeah.
I was talking to him and I asked him, I was like, "Hey man, you watch UFC, blah, blah, blah." He goes, "Oh yeah, dude, I have a high school friend that actually is fighting tonight." And so I looked him up and I was like, "Cody Stamann." I go, "All right, I'll have to keep my eye on that fight because why not? It's always cool."
Yeah.
Just lost his brother a week ago. Before
that was
the fight.
Fucking nuts, man.
And he lost his brother. I don't remember how. But so going into a fight like that with a heavy heart, like, first of all, like, kudos to him for having the composure. Kudos to any athlete who can lose somebody so close and then go out there and compete at a high professional level. Like, that's just incredible. Cody Stamann ended up winning by decision. He definitely won the fight. He fought well. Kudos to you, Cody. Rest in peace to your brother, man. Like, great fight. I'll be watching you moving forward. Go ahead.
I was gonna say his brother. Well, here's this is the fucking tearjerker part, right? 18-year-old kid, lived in Michigan here. Just died unexpectedly. There's so far. From what I can see, very quickly, they haven't released a cause of death or anything like that. So yeah, it'd be tough, one thing if you. It'd be one thing if he knew. Okay, you can't. There's no good way to say this because I don't think that if he knew that there was a chance that his brother was gonna die coming out to this fight, you can kind of prepare yourself, right? Like,
sure. I see where you're coming from.
You see what I'm trying to get at? Like, if you know that he's been sick and there's always this possibility. And then you go and you fight. You kind of know that this is going to happen.
Yeah, which still wouldn't.
It doesn't make it any easier.
Yes,
but I'm just saying, to just unexpectedly have no answers and you supposed to fight, and you are a young fighter and a new fighter in the UFC. So you're like, I have a career too, family, career. What would my family want? Of course, his family wanted him to go fight because of the fact that, that was going to be what was going to be best for him going forward. And he put on a hell of a show. That was a good fight. That was a good fight.
Yeah, no, he did what he needed to do. He's the number 12 in the UFC bantamweight rankings right now, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember if he was ranked coming into this fight or not. Cody, I'm sorry that I can't remember, man. I'll be completely honest with you, buddy. Like, I got your name from a friend that you went to high school with. I immediately started following you, regardless of the news, which is never good to hear. Like, friend of a friend. Like, of course, I'm gonna start rooting for you. He's 19-2-1. I mean, the dude's a beast. He's had a very successful professional career. His nickname is Spartan, for Christ's sake. Go green.
Go white.
Even though he's from Sparta, Michigan. So I don't think it has anything to do with Michigan State, but of course I'm going to twist that to my own liking.
I like it. Sparta,
yeah.
Michigan's like a dot of a town, like if I remember correctly. Isn't it just above Kalamazoo?
I think so.
Yeah.
And kind of over by Holland, kind of towards that area.
Yeah.
And he fought Yadong Song, which was a draw. And I mean, Song just fought in the last card, if you remember him from the previous week. And then he beat Alejandro Perez before that. He did lose to Aljamain Sterling, but I don't know if you noticed, Aljamain went in there and straight whooped up on Corey Sandhagen. There we go. So I mean, like, Cody Stamann, he's fighting some top tier dudes, man. And I mean, and when he lost to a knee bar against Aljamain in the second round, so it's not like he's getting, knocked out. But I mean, before that, he was on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 win streak dating back to 2014. I mean, my dude's been killing it. So Cody Stamann, I'm going to be following you, man. You got yourself a fan over the weekend. Great fight, huge heart, professional as hell. Like, rest in peace to your brother, man. Keep up the good work, buddy. Keep grinding. We also, on top of Cody, I have also found CB. I have found my fighter. I think I already told you about him.
Oh, you said you found a fighter, but you didn't tell me who it was.
I told you I wanted to find another fighter. I mean, on top of Cody, just because, like, I like what Cody did. Like, I'm going to start following him. I just happen to have another fighter. His name is Maki Pitolo. Maki Coconut Bombs Pitolo. Anyone with a nickname Coconut Bombs, you're going to get the follow. I mean, that is just such a cool freaking nickname. He ended up winning his fight against Charles Bird.
Too. He was a bad dude, yeah.
He's from Hawaii. I mean, and now that you know me and Tua are best friends. We're on a first name basis. We text every day. Finding out that he had a cousin, Maki, that also from Hawaii. I was like, well, I got to follow Coconut Bombs. He throws coconut bombs. So I'm all about him. I'm going to start following him too. Another shout out, Chase Hooper. Only reason I'm shouting him out, bro, the kid's 20, and he looks like your average Joe Schmo. You remember this kid?
Yeah. Yep.
Holy cow.
Yep.
Like, he is literally like who you go to see when you need tutoring on your math homework. You go see Chase Hooper. And then after Chase Hooper tutors you in math, he goes and throws fucking elbows in people's faces in the octagon.
Right.
Like, I'm telling you guys.
He goes against violent.
Google Chase Hooper UFC. And you're going to go, oh, shit, he's done my calc homework for me. Like, that is who Chase Hooper looks like. But, I mean, dude, the kid's tough. He went up against, I don't know this guy's name either. Alex Caceres. I'm pretty sure it's Alex Caceres.
I think it was something like that. Yeah, Alex Caceres.
I mean, Alex Caceres has got, 11 years on this kid. He's got experience. He's been in a ton of fights. Like, and Chase, dude, he went the distance. He went all 3 rounds. Alex ended up winning on decision, but I was just impressed by that kid's drive, man. Like, to go in there,
he's gonna have to.
Young,
I mean,
like, that's
correct
crazy.
me if maybe I'm just being over everything, but he's gonna have to start going on a run now that he has 2 losses, though.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that was his first loss in the UFC. He made his UFC debut the fight previous to that one.
Oh, wait a minute. I was looking at somebody else's record. I'm sorry.
I think he's 8-1-1 or 9-1-1 or something like that.
Well, even if he has a loss, he still needs to. He can't lose. Well, I mean, I don't know.
The kid's young, man. If he starts beating up on some guys who have been in the UFC for a minute, he's gonna make a name for himself. He's in the UFC at 20 years old.
Well, I was gonna say, like, I know I'm being very, very harsh, too critical at a young of a guy. You know what I'm saying? but I'm just like, yo, like, one loss in UFC isn't that bad, but 2, now you're starting to really dance with the whole, are you just gonna be a journeyman type thing?
I'm with you.
Although the greatest fighter in the world has 4 losses, so I mean,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do?
Yeah. So,
But
and she's also not 20. She's in her 30s. So, I mean, my thing is for this kid to be so young, to be already getting offers from Dana White for fights, like he's doing something
he's
right.
got
Now,
promise. He's got huge
is he
promise.
immediately, is he a prodigy? Is he immediately going to stardom? Maybe not. But he's getting a taste of what the best looks like right now. So moving forward,
2
that's
to
going to
3
do great
fights a
things.
year.
Yeah, well, depending on whatever Dana White signs him to contract. But yeah, I mean, he's probably good for at least a couple of those fights. And being where he's at, he doesn't have much to lose, man. If anything, at that age, you're out there to prove something. So he's probably going to take fights as they come. I tell you what, man, he was getting hit hard. He was taking way too many shots. I thought he was going to get knocked out. For him to go 3 full rounds
The whole
proves
distance,
his toughness, which I'll be honest, looking at him off first glance, I didn't think he'd be that tough. So kudos to him for at least going. But yeah, he's got a lot to work on. We'll see how he bounces back. That kind of wrapped up our prelims, and then we got into the actual main card, and this is where it got super exciting. CB, did you get to watch Sean O'Malley?
O'Malley got busy as fuck.
Yeah, this was before CB was catching Z's. He fought Eddie Wineland, and Eddie Wineland is an extremely tenured fighter. That dude's got some bouts under his belt. And Sean O'Malley put on a freaking show. CB, what did you think about that? Recap the fight for us.
I'm not good at recapping anything, but right. I will tell you.
No, I'm kidding. Go ahead. What are you?
Well,
thoughts?
I was gonna say no. I mean, I didn't expect it to end as quick as it did.
Yeah.
To be very honest with you, I thought, especially because of the fact that Eddie being a tenured fighter, I'm like, okay, you know what? Like he'll be able to take him into 2, maybe even make this into a real fight in third, go into a third round. But a first round, and it was not the way I first saw this fight. Maybe it's because I didn't believe in Sean O'Malley the way that maybe I should. I didn't put no respect on his name.
I tell you what, you fucking respect him. Respect him now. So for those of you who don't follow, Sean O'Malley, he's got the white boy fro going, like super cool dude. He fucking dyed his fro rainbow colors. I don't know if that was because of Pride Week. I don't know if he's a huge Tekashi fan. Like, I don't know what the hell it was for, but he still somehow pulled it off with the braids.
He's a Tekashi fan. I can't fuck with him no more.
Yeah, right. I'm just gonna assume Pride Week. I'm gonna assume he's a Pride Week supporter, which
I can fuck with that. I can fuck with that.
I can get behind that. So Sean O'Malley comes into this fight, and Eddie Wineland's got that old style, like 40s, like curly handlebar mustache, dude, just out there, just throwing them fucking hands, bro. Like, and I mean, he literally, what did he call the stash mafia? All of his corner had masks on, like COVID masks on with a mustache. Super cool, dude. I liked it, but Sean O'Malley, dude, like, so they were going at it, and it was a fairly even fight. And then out of nowhere, man, with a minute 14 left in the first, or was it a minute 14 into the first? I don't remember. Nonetheless, no.
I got the card up here. It ended at 3:06. So, yeah.
No, it has to have been into, because I'm looking at another. Yes. Okay. So
I'm on UFC.
Okay. Sorry.
Ended at 3:06.
With 3:06 left.
Yeah. That's what I'm at. I'm sorry.
No, we're good. We're on the same page here. So all of a sudden, Sean O'Malley gives a feint, and trust me, Justin gets out his fucking notebook, tells me to turn to page 76, and says, "Fucking listen up here. Here's your first lesson." So Sean O'Malley gives a feint, and he acts like he's gonna go for an uppercut, and of course that gets Eddie Wineland to drop those hands. And as soon as he dropped those hands, bro, Sean O'Malley gave him a right cross right to the fucking jaw. And Eddie Wineland not only fell backwards onto his ass, eyes rolled in his head, arms went stiff and everything, bro. I mean, as soon as Sugar Sean punched him, he just put his hand up and just walked away. Put his hand up and turned around and walked away, bro. I mean, it was.
I thought it was just nuts how he's just like, yo, that was it. That's the one that I just won this match with, and turn around and it's just like, it's a wrap, G.
because I went golfing with Justin, obviously, and we were talking about like golf, and we were talking about baseball, and like you were a baseball player, like you swing that bat, and when you hit that ball clean and you hit it with power, you don't even feel it come off the bat. It just shoots off. It takes off, and you feel nothing. I promise you, when Sean O'Malley
Is that
hit
what
Eddie
it, is that
Wineland
what
in
it
the
felt like?
face, yeah, right. I was gonna say, yes, you didn't hit bombs like me.
No, I mean, like, I was gonna say, like, I hit a few, but like, honestly, I was just like, that might actually have the legs to get out as I'm rounding second
Well,
because I was
good
fast
news
as
is
fuck.
you
So
also had
like,
legs to get around the bases. If I didn't put it over the fence, I was double all day. At least you could pull stretch
like,
3.
yeah, I was already rounding second by the time the fucking ball actually went over the fence.
Yeah,
I'm like,
right.
oh,
Exactly.
look at me.
So
I got a little bit of a bigger strut,
well, anyway, CB,
Daddy got the big dick.
when the big boys hit the baseball, you don't even feel the ball come off the bat, bro. It just shoots off, takes off, and it's
Right.
like nothing, dude. My point being is, I know when Sean O'Malley made contact with Eddie, dude, it was right at the end of that extension of his punch. All of that power from his feet all the way up through his hand. That shit connected right on Eddie's chin. Night. Like, night. He couldn't even sit on the chair, bro. They were trying to get him to sit on a chair. Couldn't even do it. I mean, he was toast. He was toast. Actually, that might have been a different fight. That was a different fighter that couldn't sit on the chair. We'll get to him in a second. But point being, Sean O'Malley, shout out, fucking rocked him, dude. I'm calling it right now. Sean O'Malley will be fighting for a title within the next 2 years. I think that dude has got what it takes to be something scary in the bantamweight. Telling you, bro. There's a lot of good fighters that are bantamweight. I'm just telling you, I think this dude's got what he's 12-0. He's undefeated in the UFC. Like, he puts on a great show. The dude's got fucking rock hands. 2 years maybe.
I'm just looking at,
but I think he's gonna make a name for himself really quick. He kind of already has, man.
Bantamweight? He's not even in the bantamweight. That's not the bantamweight.
Yep, I'm looking at it right
Featherweight?
now. Bantamweight.
Not, I guess he's not in the top 15, I guess. Really?
No,
he's not in the top 15?
I don't think he was ranked. I don't think he is ranked.
Well, no, I mean, like, just because, oh, never mind. It was Cody Stamen, like 12. It was on a prelim. I think it's nuts that, like,
no, Cody Stamen got bumped to 12 after his win. He was unranked.
Was that what happened?
Yeah, he was unranked before his fight.
All right.
And then he got bumped up to 12 after that win.
Okay.
Yep.
That's a fair assessment. That is a fair assessment. I mean, there's some serious climbage, but I mean, like,
oh, don't get me wrong, dude. Bantamweight, they are fucking stacked.
Stacked, man.
They're stacked. They're just like what division am I thinking of? I want to say middleweight.
Featherweight? No. Lightweight. What's lightweight? Lightweight. No. Yeah, lightweight's pretty tough.
Lightweight's got some tough guys too. That's where you're gonna get your Connors, your Cowboys, your Tony Fergusons, Dustin Poirier.
Khabib.
Yeah. Khabib. I mean, yeah, the lightweight's good. Middleweight, I think I said middleweight. That's where you get your style bender, your Israel Adesanya, your Yoel Romero's, Robert Whittaker's. That's where you're going to get those kind of guys. Uriah Hall, even though I think he's down there a little bit more, but that's where you're going to get some of those guys. But yeah, no, man. Nonetheless, bantamweight. In my opinion, I think the bantamweight division has got some of the most exciting fighters in it right now. And the cool thing is everyone's on the come up. Like, all of these guys that you see, like, we just saw Corey Sandhagen fight. We just saw Cody Garbrandt fight, who used to actually hold the belt. These guys are, there's so many people that can potentially make big surges in that division. That's where my eye is right now. That's where I see a lot of the come ups. So I could be wrong.
Be honest, like
the master, but who knows?
I think I'm gonna start trying to pay attention a little bit more to the heavyweight, because this is getting ready to be a change in the guard, because I'm looking at this like just even top 15. I feel like there's a lot of old ass fucking fighters in the heavyweight division.
Yeah.
And
I kind of want to get.
I think we're getting ready. I think it's getting ready to. I think in the next. I would say in a few years we're about ready to have a real
Yeah. I
shake
actually
up there.
I want to get into that division, but I want to do it after we go over this card, if that's cool. I actually
Oh
have
yeah, no, you're
some
good.
things
You're
I want to
good.
bring up. So after Sugar Sean gets that win, Neil Magny and Anthony Rocco Martin fought. Didn't care. That's when I was talking to you and
Yeah.
Nick. I was conversing. Didn't have money on this
Yeah.
fight, so I picked Cody Stamann, won. I picked Sean O'Malley, won. Your boy's 2 for 5 on his parlay bet. About to win some fucking mad stacks. And then Aljamain Sterling fucking rocks Corey Sandhagen, and your boy loses his first fucking parlay fight. I will say, I do not blame him. I did put some faith in Justin on this one. He was really high on Corey. Corey Sandhagen trains at the same gym as a lot of fucking dope ass fighters, and of course now I'm forgetting who they are. Justin Gaethje. There's another big timer there. I don't remember who it is. Doesn't matter. Point being, he trains with some of the best fighters right now in the UFC. So having faith in a guy like that makes perfect sense, dude. He's on a come up right now. What I didn't realize is that Aljamain Sterling is a fucking man, and he just doesn't give a fuck who Corey Sandhagen is. Aljamain definitely choked his ass out a minute and a half into the first round. They weren't sweaty, so of course, as soon as Aljamain got
I forgot about
control,
yep. Because he just sat there. No, it was nuts because like they just came up and he just reached right the fuck over and was like whoop.
Yeah. Yep. And so as soon as they went to the ground, I was like, uh-oh. Because two dry bodies, dude, trying to wrestle, like when you're trying to submit somebody and there is no, like all that friction is there and you can grab onto everything, not a good spot to be in. I don't really have much to say about this fight other than Aljamain controlled it right from the get-go. He submitted Corey Sandhagen. I want to say it was with a rear naked choke. Oh man, I really hope I'm right on that terminology too, because that'd make me so happy. But nonetheless, Aljamain won. Your boy lost money. Next fight, Rafael Asunko. I don't fucking know this guy's name, but he was fighting Cody Garbrandt. Did you watch this fight, CB?
Hold on a second.
Nope.
Which one was it? Nope, because that's the one I fell asleep on.
That is too bad, CB. You probably missed the nastiest fucking knockout all night. Better than Sean O'Malley.
You said Cody. Yeah, Cody. Yeah, so, I made it like the fucking second round, and the next thing I know, I was fighting it. I was up against the ropes, Clay. I knew it. I'm like, yeah, I should hang up. They're gonna clown me.
So Cody, hey, I could have made it public. At least I kept it private between the friends. And now it's on.
Actually, I was just like, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Sucks. Bye, helmet.
You're good. So, anyways, Cody Garbrandt, he's actually held the belt before. He's lost it since. He'd been out of the UFC for, I want to say, like a year or two. I was trying to go off.
Oh, no, that was another guy. Never mind. What I was going to say. I'm sorry.
Going off of Justin Swenson knowledge here. And but he had been out of the game for a minute, making his comeback. And, it was a good fight, man. I thought Cody controlled it. I thought he kind of kept his pace throughout the fight. But the only thing we need to talk about is what happened 1 second before the second round ended. Cody Garbrandt's got his back up against the fence. You hear like the sticks. You hear those. You got 10 seconds left in the fight. Cody's up against the fence. And for some reason, him and Rafael are just looking at each other for like 2 seconds. And all of a sudden, you see Cody duck way down. I mean, his right hand, bro, is probably below his knee. And all of a sudden, you see him come up something fierce.
Yeah.
Whop! Right in Rafael's face. Out cold. Hand goes up. You hear the bell. Didn't matter, bro. Ref called it right then and there.
Yeah.
Clean-ass knockout. Rafael was the guy who couldn't sit on a stool. He couldn't stand. They told him to sit on the ground. He didn't know where he was for at least 3 minutes, bro. It was insane. It was a sick-ass knockout. Cody Garbrandt is definitely a guy that I would like to continue watching moving forward. The dude throws absolute bombs. He's quick. He's so quick, dude. He's lightning fast. And his power, it's just nasty, bro. It's just nasty. Everything is tight. Everything is inside. I won't say Tyson-esque because that man brought his power from the inside like no other. But like it just reminded me of how quick and you know what I mean. Everything was precise, man. Nothing was wild. Like it all felt meaningful. Every punch, every kick he threw was meaningful. It wasn't just like feelers. So kudos to him. It was an awesome fight. I'm so sorry you missed out on that one. That was probably one of my favorite fights of the night between Sean O'Malley and Cody Garbrandt.
I was right there.
I mean, yes, they were both knockouts, so of course it sounds exciting, but like, damn, like that's why you watch UFC, bro, to see shit like that. You never want anybody to get hurt, but sweet baby Jesus, dude. It was an exciting fight to say the least. Sean O'Malley got me out of my seat though. When Sean O'Malley knocked out Eddie Wineland, I jumped. I was like, oh! Ooh! I was up. Justin was up, bro. That shit was nasty.
That's super awesome.
Nasty. And then, of course, Amanda Nunes. I don't think I need to hype this woman up at all. We already called her the GOAT. Fucking legend.
Yeah.
Went in the octagon, handled business against Felicia Spencer. She controlled every second of each round. I
believe it lasted all 5 rounds, man.
Yeah. Kudos to Felicia Spencer. Talk about toughness. She went 5 full rounds with the champ. 5 full rounds. Yeah.
This is her. At the end of that fucking fight, she had a lump going bananas on that head.
She did.
She's tough female, man. And okay, you know what? I know we said we weren't gonna hype her up anymore, but the amount of fucking class that just drips off of fucking Amanda Nunes after the fight, she goes over, she puts the belt on fucking Spencer. Yeah, and it was just like, yo, like, sat there and was just talking to her in her corner, like, just having a conversation, like, hey, you did a great fight. Hey, we did a lot of great things tonight. This means a lot for women. I'm pretty sure, she was, I couldn't hear all the audio, but this did a lot for women's fighting and did a lot for, the sport of UFC. And then I saw the interview after the fight with Joe Rogan, and she's just like, Joe, thank you. I'm so excited right now. She's like, I just want to call my mom. And, she's like, she's like mad hype because she's like, nobody's ever done what she's done before. Defend her belts in 2 different weight classes.
2 different weight classes. First fighter in UFC history.
Like awesome. DC, Connor, there's a couple others that I think maybe Silva has, but that have actually had belts in different weight classes, but never defended them at the same time.
Yeah.
And that's what Amanda Nunes did, and that's an amazing feat for a fighter to do.
And not to discredit Felicia Spencer at all, but I want to rattle off these stats from this fight just so those of you who have never seen Amanda Nunes fight kind of get a little bit of an understanding. So Amanda Nunes threw 132 total strikes. Total strikes. Yeah, 132. 124 of them were significant. I mean, that means making solid contact, not like punches she threw that were wild or fended off or blocked. 124 of her 132 were significant strikes to the body. Felicia Spencer took 90 strikes to the head. 90 strikes to the head, CB.
Her head looked like it, too.
Yeah, she didn't really have much of a head by the end of this fight. To put that in perspective, Felicia Spencer only had 70 total strikes, almost half, and only 42 were significant. A third of Amanda Nunes.
What I want people to do, if you haven't seen this previous fight, UFC 250, and I did, dude, get out. Sorry, parenting. Anyways, if you haven't seen UFC 250 yet, to watch Amanda Nunes and what's her first name? I keep Felicia Spencer. Thank you. Fight. I want you to go watch UFC 240 first. I want you to go watch Amanda Nunes versus Chris Cyborg first.
And Chris Cyborg was a beast.
Or 240. But here's the thing. And the reason why I bring this up is I want you to see the fucking bombs that Amanda Nunes lands on Chris Cyborg, and those are the same bombs that Felicia Spencer stayed 5 rounds for. I mean, like I got a lot of. I mean, she got. I give her a lot of credit for being able to stay in the ring that long.
Chris Cyborg
And her
fought
corner.
Alicia Spencer in 240, by the way. Just a heads up.
Was it
I'll get
okay?
I'll get
Amanda Nunes
I'll get the
was.
fight you're looking for. I'll get the fight you're looking for.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
UFC
I got them mixed up. 232. Is that what it was?
Nunes versus Cyborg.
There we go. Sorry, but here's the thing. Amanda Nunes also has. I mean, she beat Chris Cyborg, Holly Holmes, Ronda Rousey. That's her trophy mantle. You know, like she's bad, dude. All right, I'm sorry. I'll stop sucking her dick for a while. She's a bad fucking person.
Mm-hmm. She also beat Valentina Shevchenko, and she head kicked Holly Holm. She beat Holly Holm in her own game.
That's what I said, Holly Holm.
Did you say Holly Holm? Okay. Yeah, dude. I mean, dude, she's beaten multiple belt holders.
Yeah.
Like
she's a fighter, man.
She's a bad woman, man.
So
UFC, tell you what.
UFC's. I mean, they're gaining fans, man. They gotta be because it's the only show in town right now.
Mm-hmm.
Although, come July, there'll be a new show, and that show will be the NBA, my friend.
I'm not ready to move forward yet. I'm not ready to move forward. So I have some questions for you real quick in the UFC because I told you I was going to bring up some heavyweight. So we got if you haven't seen, we got Stipe Miocic versus Daniel Cormier round 3. We got the grudge match. Did you see that? Yeah, it's like they're ready to go for it. They both agreed. They just have to actually work out the terms on the numbers, but they've agreed to do a fight. Here, I'll pull up the article real quick. Of course, I sent it to Justin. Yep, breaking. Stipe Miocic versus Daniel Cormier trilogy is on.
Okay.
So for those of you who do or do not watch UFC, Daniel Cormier, they call him DC, one of the coolest commentators ever for the UFC. Like he is one that I hope stays active with it. But Daniel Cormier beat Stipe Miocic to take the belt. And then when they refought, which would have been UFC like 245 or 246, or it was, I think I'm close. Nonetheless, when they fought, Stipe Miocic ended up coming back and reclaiming the belt from DC.
Mm-hmm.
And to be able to watch them go for the rubber match now is super exciting. So 246. That was Connor against Cerrone, so it wasn't that.
DC is still ranked the number one as far as like he's the number one contender in the heavyweight division right now because say the name because I'll kill it.
Stipe Miocic.
Yeah, say it again.
Miocic.
Him being the champion.
Yeah.
So
anyways, I'm super excited about that. Damn, it was a little bit longer ago than I thought. Holy cow. 241. Sorry, UFC 241. But yeah, super excited about that. There's some more news about John Jones and Masvidal and Conor. I mean, Conor is now saying he's retired for the 3rd time in his career. You got John Jones wanting to renegotiate contracts and give up his belt because he's not getting his money. Now you got Masvidal jumping on the bandwagon, saying that he wants to redo his contract. He's got 7 fights left on his 8-fight contract right now, but he's saying he's not getting paid the amount he thinks he should be getting. So we won't get too deep into it because I know we want to move forward, CB, but I just want to know, in your opinion, when you got the Conor McGregors who doesn't feel like he's getting enough love right now, you got John Jones ready to vacate the title because he wants to get paid more, and you got Masvidal jumping on the contract bandwagon saying he deserves more money. What do you think about these high top-end fighters all disappointed that they're not getting their fights and they're not getting the money that they're looking for? Is Dana White making a mistake, or are these fighters out of line?
Well, I think Conor McGregor's not. He's not. I don't think he's like in the whole retirement thing because of anything else other than the fact that, he's bored. I mean, you give a fighter that caliber. I mean, I just don't. I think he's bored and he's just not seeing a real fight that's gonna draw money. You know
Agreed.
what I mean? Like,
Agreed. No, 100%.
So for him, he's just like, I mean, I take, because he said in his statement, I've looked up and down the board. There's just nobody out there. You know.
Which he's wrong. They're there. He's just not.
Only
he's just
Khabib
not
is about the only one. I was gonna say only Khabib is about the only one that, like, I think monetarily, because here's the thing, he's in that Floyd Mayweather role now, where being a champion doesn't really mean anything.
From a monetary value, I agree with you that there's probably that only Khabib at this point will pull the money that Conor's looking for. What I don't agree with Conor is he can't sit here and say that there's nobody out there to fight. You got Khabib, and now you got Justin Gaethje, who, in my opinion, is rightfully next in line to fight Khabib, in my opinion. And then on top of that, I think
he's ranked number one, or right underneath him.
Khabib should be number one because he just beat Tony Ferguson. Khabib's Jakey.
So
no,
I mean,
I meant to say Gaethje. Gaethje just beat Tony Ferguson.
Yeah.
Gaethje, in my opinion, after the way he handled Ferguson, should be in line for the title fight against Khabib. I don't think it should go.
Gaethje it goes Ferguson. So it goes Gaethje, Ferguson, Dustin Poirier. How you say it?
Oh yeah.
And then you got Conor.
Yeah. So like,
but I mean, like, yeah, I just look at it though. I mean,
if Conor wanted to,
the only fight that's really, go ahead.
If Conor wanted to fight right now, and he said, "Hey, I don't care about the money. I want to fight, so I can be next in line for a title," he's got to go through Dustin Poirier first. He's got to fight Dustin Poirier, and if he can beat him, he gets to fight whoever wins the Khabib Gaethje bout. That's how it would.
I may be out of line. I may be a novice, and I don't know enough. But honestly, I look at everybody on that list before you get to Khabib that Conor McGregor could walk through, and I mean walk through them. So I mean, unless it's a Khabib fight, it's not worth his time. And I'll be honest, I won't argue. I don't even think that he wants to fight Khabib. I think he's scared of Khabib. You know what I mean?
I mean, Khabib already beat his ass first. Conor went lackadaisical on his training. He didn't take Khabib serious, and Khabib went out there and fucking choked his ass out.
Yeah.
And here's my thing. I think Conor wants Khabib. 1, he wants the belt. 2, he wants the money. 3, he wants to fucking defend himself this time. He wants to show up and be like, now I'm ready for you. But the thing is after Gaethje handled Ferguson, I just feel like he's earned it. He's earned it. You can't take that, and you can't put Conor against Gaethje.
Yeah.
Like Justin Gaethje after that Tony Ferguson fight, bro, he earned a title fight. Like that's it. It was earned.
He earned a first round fucking ass whooping. That's what he earned. That's what's gonna happen.
He won't get his ass whooped.
Against Khabib.
Here's the thing.
Come on, man. I put Khabib up against a lot of motherfuckers.
Gaethje, if the fight goes to the ground, Khabib slaughters Gaethje. If Gaethje finds a way to keep it on the feet, I think his striking is much better than Khabib's. But Khabib is too good of an MMA artist.
It's still fucking fight,
I understand.
Man. Like,
did you not watch Justin Gaethje? Did you not see that?
I mean, like,
then you need to give credit where credit
I didn't
due.
see enough.
That's earned. He took out the
I
number
give him
one
credit against Tony Ferguson. I do not give him credit against a fucking Khabib.
Tony Ferguson
just don't
has
see
the
that.
talent to beat Khabib. Ferguson can beat Khabib. It's just that he couldn't beat Gaethje. So what I'm saying is I think Gaethje potentially has what it takes to upset Khabib. I'm not saying he's a favorite. What I'm saying is if I got to watch Gaethje Khabib or Conor Khabib, I'm just as excited. Conor brings more excitement from the entertainment standpoint and the shit talk. It's going to bring in more money. It's going to bring in more viewers. But I'm on the Gaethje I shouldn't say bandwagon. I am becoming a fan of Gaethje, and I would like to see what he can do. Think if Gaethje does take out Khabib. Now what does Conor do? Conor now gets to bypass Khabib, who he's potentially scared of, and now he just gets to go fight Gaethje, which is probably a better matchup for Conor anyways.
Oh, it's
And
definitely a better matchup for
Connor
him.
gets another shot. So if
But I
I were
wonder if
Connor,
it,
what I would do is you would almost want to hope for the Khabib Gaethje fight. You would almost hope that Gaethje upsets Khabib, and you go right after the belt after that.
so
Which I think Khabib
and
would get a.
I guess the
I think there
question
would be a.
is yeah, I was gonna say, but don't you think that do you so basically you're saying Connor is more concerned about the belt than he is about the fiscal, because the better money, no matter,
No,
even he could fight Khabib without a belt and make more money than what he would with
no, 100%
Khabib,
agree. Yep.
we going with a
Yeah.
Gaethje belt. So I
I
mean,
see what.
like,
Yep.
I
I'm
don't
with
I
you.
don't really I don't think the only fight that I think that he's even picking the phone up for
Hmm.
is a I mean, like, is a possible Khabib fight.
So
Other than that, it's just not worth his time.
here's where my head's at. I'm gonna disagree with that on for one reason, and this is kind of where I'm at, where I think Connor's head's at. I 100% agree with the fact that if Khabib, let's say, lost to Gaethje, that Connor would rake in more cash fighting a non-title fight against Khabib than he would a title fight against Gaethje.
But that's what I
I'm
was
with you on
saying.
no, and I
Oh,
agree
okay.
with you. This is why so you said I think that Connor is more belt minded than he is money minded. And this is where I disagree. If Connor really wanted a payday, he wouldn't care about Khabib, period. He would go and fucking fight Floyd again. Connor retired. Floyd called him out on Twitter. If Connor wants money, all of this talk is irrelevant. Connor gets back to social
I got a
media, and
question. I
him and
do you
Floyd
really
start
think
going at
that
it, bro.
you think it's
That's
gonna
where the
you think
money
it's
is
gonna
at.
bring in a you really think it's I mean, like,
Who wouldn't? Would you tune in? Without
what's
question.
that?
It's just, dude, if Connor and Floyd go at it again, it's raking in more money. And I think it'll be a better
Do you
fight. Not only
think
will
it
Connor
does
take it
better
more
you
serious,
think it'll be
Floyd takes it more serious this time around too.
Dude, Floyd fucking took it serious and just kept him
Right.
around for fucking what, 8
So
rounds?
are you disagreeing that Floyd can't take it to another level and be more serious? Is that what you're saying? He's unable to do so?
I am saying that the fact that it even lasted 5 rounds is because Floyd let it last more
Okay,
than 5
so
rounds.
does Floyd take it more serious? Does he have more to prove? Because after that fight,
So does he hit him in the first? He'll probably make
no,
it go to the third.
Floyd, here's my thing. Floyd is unable to end Connor in one round. He is physically unable to end Connor in one round.
mean,
It's not
because Conor
possible.
McGregor can take a hit. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
He's got a
we
chin.
know that.
That's why But my point being is if they rematch, both of them are going to come out with more steam. Period. Like, it's just a fact. That's what will happen. They're both too cocky. They're both too arrogant, and they're both too concerned about their reputation to not
So
go even harder than they did the first time.
do you think that they would make more money the second fight than they did the first fight? You think they'd be more of a draw than because here's the thing, it's like I know a lot of boxing fans and a lot of MMA fans that were hype about that fight and were like, yo, I won't pay for that shit ever again. I don't care if they fight again or not.
I feel like I mean, I would pay $100 on pay-per-view to rewatch them fight, one, because I'm gonna split it with somebody. Like, I'm gonna fucking, who wants to come over to the fight party?
Right.
Excuse me. Who's coming over to Nick's for the fight party?
Right.
So that would happen. I would rewatch it. Now, will it draw more money? I don't know for sure. I would like to say yes, but a part of me also is kind of like, been there, done that. It wasn't exciting the first time, and I could see where people would kind of like that excitement would die out. Plus, them going at it in the press conferences, been there, done that too. We've already seen those two kind of chit chat, and considering it's always an exhibition, there technically is less on the line other than reputation, but there's no title on the line. So I think naturally I would probably agree with you. I think it would pull less pay-per-view buys. But for me and for you, a boxing fan, an MMA fan, I think for the people who are interested in the fight itself, I think those people are still going to show up. And I think at the end of the day, it would end up being more exciting than the first fight. I think you'd see Conor throw way more hands, and I think you'd see Floyd be way more active in the ring. Not to say he wasn't the first time, but like, knowing Floyd
I'll be
Mayweather,
honest,
he would be out there to really prove something.
I might have to go back and watch that fight, but if I remember correctly, I mean, all he did was the exact same thing he did with De La Hoya, Canelo Alvarez, and every fucking Miguel Cotto, Pacquiao. I mean, he just laid back. Oh, come on. Oh, you're not gonna hit me.
I mean, bro, he's smart.
Counter.
He's one of the smartest. I mean, you don't accidentally go undefeated.
Yeah.
Like it ain't all about these, bro. Mayweather's got it up here too. And off with being outside of the ring, he says a lot of dumb shit. All right. I'm not saying he's like the fucking sharpest tool in the shed, but you put him inside that ring, that's a whole nother beast, man.
Yeah.
Light switch gets flipped. So we'll leave it at that. We can move over to the old ball and hoop if you'd like. But while you bring that up, and do you have something else to say? I need my laptop charger, so we're gonna leave it rolling. I want you to introduce basketball, and I'm gonna grab my charger because I know where it's at.
Word up. So, as I tried to bring into effect earlier, was the fact that we do have a start date for the NBA, and I'm glad he got his headphones on, because the real thing that came up to me about this start date and end date of the NBA.
Yeah.
So the July 31st is the tentative start date for the NBA to kick off their season, which is just going to do a 22-team playoff. Real quick, I'll run through the teams. Eastern Conference, you got the Bucks, of course. You got the Raptors, the Celtics, the Heat, Pacers, 76ers, Nets, Orlando Magic, and the Wizards. Western Conference, of course, you got the Lakers of Los Angeles, the Clippers, Nuggets, Jazz, Thunder, Rockets, Mavericks, Grizzlies, Blazers, Pelicans.
that West team, bro.
I know.
So good. They're so good.
Pelicans and Kings, Spurs, and Suns. A couple of things I heard during this time was the fact that I heard that Dame was against this whole thing, and the Portland Trailblazers were not a big fan of this whole situation.
Yeah, they were the only team. They were the only team to reject the 22-team offer or whatever.
I think it's crazy because they could have very easily just kept them out. Right here. Let's go. Portland. They were 9, so they could have sat there and said we're only doing 16 teams, but because they wanted to, try and keep it to the hey, you could have played your way into this. We're keeping you in this. So I thought that was crazy.
Yeah.
I did hear somebody say, oh, they only extended it because they wanted to see Zion in the playoffs for his rookie year. Look, man, they got a lot of money to recoup. That makes fucking sense.
Yeah. I get it.
Imagine a Zion making it deep in the fucking playoffs.
Dude, what have we always said? This is a business before anything else. I totally understand.
So, that made sense to me. I was like, all right, cool. Now, what really drew my there's, they got seedings and all that stuff, but I saw October 12th is when the finals would end, no later than. It drew me back to a conversation that we had when I was way too fucked up to have that conversation, because I'm like, I don't know what date you're talking about, Clay. And you kept on trying to break it down. I'm like, I don't fucking get it. And then I just played along because I was like, I'm holding up the fucking pod, man. But October 12th, regular season of basketball starts mid-October. Regularly. And I remember the conversation was leading along the lines of when we're going to start the season. Maybe this could be like the new way that they start the seasons, and they have a half break and all this stuff and all that. I haven't heard any conversation about what they plan on for the 21-22 season.
I know. So I saw something.
Or 2021.
Yeah, 2021-2022 season. So I saw something that talked about that obviously – if they finish the playoffs right at the beginning of October, would they start their next season at the end of October? They were literally talking about finishing the season, having 3 weeks, and then boom, regular season 2021-2022. Or in this case, 2020-2021 season. Should they do that? I'm against it. I know they've had a little bit of a hiatus for COVID, but I'm not about them playing for the next, August, September, October, 3 straight months, and then directly back into a full season. That would be one entire calendar year over one entire calendar year of straight basketball. It's like 15 or 16 months. Now, a couple reasons I'm against it. One, what is one of the biggest issues that not only we have talked about, but the media is talking about? That is resting players.
Oh yeah,
sitting players.
I was like, which conversation?
Yeah, right. So about sitting players.
Yeah.
And
bless you.
Thank you. I'm sorry. And one of the biggest issues that is talked about, wow, is about players sitting. Kawhi Leonard's, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, all these big names, and they're just take games off. And we've had conversations before on the pod. Is load management. Thank you. That's the term. And we've talked before. Should teams do load management with players? Obviously, we're against it. I get why they do it, but like nobody wants that, man. Like people are paying hundreds of dollars to come see people play. Like play the games. I understand rest. I try and respect people's well-beings, but at the same time, it's your job, man. Like you don't see fucking football players taking. Now, granted, I understand the season difference. Work with me here, people. But you don't see other athletes in sports taking breaks because they want to take a break. Baseball, you'll see it from time to time, but typically not really. I mean, that's a whole nother ball game. So
they have a rotation.
Well, that's what I was going to say is every now and then you'll see somebody take a break, but it's not like it's a frequent thing. In basketball, it happens more frequently than we would like to see from people.
Yeah.
So I'm not for it because load management is going to become even worse when you're playing for this long of time. And two, I'm going to reiterate the point I said last time. If they were to do this, finish the season in October, take your normal hiatus from basketball. 4, 5, 6 months, whatever it is. I think it's like, what is it? October, November, December, January, February, March, about 5 months, 4 or 5 months, right in that ballpark. Take that time off and then start the season in the spring. Multiple benefits. One, your players get their well-deserved break. Yes, they had the COVID break. Yes, it's going to be a short season. So what? Roll with the fucking punches. Adapt. Start your season later. In the summer, you have one sport to compete with, baseball. Baseball is already struggling for viewers. Like, their TV ratings are atrocious. You would be the only sport on other than baseball. I feel like you would get so much attention.
I feel like basketball, though, doesn't compete with anything at all.
Football.
Mm-mm.
I mean, football's still the highest. I mean, if you're talking about TV spots,
that's the only thing that matters. That's the only thing that matters.
I feel like that's irrelevant just because TNT, like there are no other sports on TNT and TBS. Like,
but those games are on not the nights of football games, except for you have because by the time that the NBA is kicking off Thursday night basketball games, the NFL is done with Thursday night football games.
Is that done? I thought
they
still do Thursday.
No, I mean, it's not every week that they do a Thursday night. Don't they stop towards the end of the season?
They do Thursday night all the way through week 15 or week 16. Week 17 is the only week I don't think they do Thursday night.
Okay.
So, but I mean, nonetheless, I mean, I'm still with you on where you're going with that.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is let's just say you've watched. Okay, work with me here. Okay, you're an NBA fan. Try and get that out of your head real quick. You're watching sports. You're watching football. You watched football Sunday. You watched football Monday. Wednesday rolls around. Basketball's on, and you're just like, I don't want to watch basketball. I mean, I'm just saying there's other sports that could take up time in the week. Sometimes people say, well, I can't do anything Sunday or Monday night, guys. I'm watching football. What about later? Like, what about midweek? All I'm saying is unless you're an NBA fan, I feel like at the end of the day, typically it gets put to the side in a list of priorities behind football. Now, maybe I'm football biased. Maybe that's why I say that. There are tons and tons and tons of NBA fans out there. They are a clear-cut number 2 as far as revenue out of the major sports. All I'm saying is baseball is 6 days a week. It's so easy for NBA to be top priority. Even if it's not the same days, okay? Work with me here. Even if it's not the same days, there is nothing else to compete, period. There isn't that, how am I going to do my week? I know that this week, I got college football, then I got NFL, then I got Monday night, so I'm good those 3 days. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Let's put it me. I follow the NBA, and you know this. Let's just say that because they're in the summer, and who's to say that you don't start seeing Laker games earlier in the day now? Like who's just working? Who's to say that doesn't happen? Because they can. TNT's like, well, shit, we don't got anything else to do. Let's have the Lakers play earlier, and the Lakers play earlier in the day because it's now summer.
Yeah.
You have less
I
people working,
love that idea, but the reason why they
it's a
couldn't
long
do
shot.
that,
It's a long
well,
shot.
I was gonna say there's a reason why they can't do that is because the fact that Los Angeles, you start a game at let's see, they start at 10 o'clock our time, that's 7 o'clock their
7
time.
o'clock.
That is
Right.
at least, yeah. I was gonna say, like if they were to try and do a 8 o'clock game for us here on the West Coast or whatever, that's starting the game at 5 p.m. when everybody's getting out of work. Traffic's horrendous. It'd be a fucking nightmare. And
well, play them on the weekend. You don't got to worry about football. You got Saturday all day, Sunday all day, Monday. You still got work, but there's nothing to compete with, bro. The weekends are yours. So you can't do that. You can't do big, think about it. Big games in NBA. Wednesday nights, Thursdays sometimes. And then you get the occasional, weekend game, but when are they aired? Noon? 2 o'clock?
Right.
We're talking Sunday, Saturday, 7 p.m., 8 p.m., weekend time. I'm just saying the possibility is there.
I'm not. I mean, it's not like I'm overly. It's not like I'm this crazy opposed again. But then you have to put into effect of rookies drafting, college, all that stuff.
That.
So now it becomes I don't know. There's a lot to really put into it because I was kind of thinking. I'm kind of down for this whole July and October thing. And I think we kind of landed on that last time when we first broke it down. It was, hey, July is October. All right, cool. Although you're going against playoff baseball, but still. And then you start the season around. I was thinking start the season around, and I know the players wouldn't like this, but you start the season around December. December 25th. You make that a Christmas gift to America. And then
I don't like it.
But then you play for a while, and then you take that time off that you were talking about to get that break for getting your bodies ready for championship basketball. I do like the idea of a good break when you're in the playoffs so I can get the best out of the players. And I just think that if you did around December, that really gives you a good break before. But it might not be long enough break for those guys that actually win the championship to recoup after that. So
yeah, I don't know.
Maybe it's because I'm selfish and I love my basketball games on Christmas. So.
What if your only options were a spring start or an entire year and a half off of basketball, and they just have a one season off, so they don't ruin the schedule?
I'd much rather just take this season off then.
Sure.
And I'm saying this being a Laker fan.
I would agree with you on that.
Wow, there's a good chance that I'm not going to get my championship that I so rightly deserve.
Or Anthony Davis.
Or Anthony fucking Davis.
Talk about a fucking waste of a signing.
Should have just fucking made a trade and got fucking Zion, dude. That would have been a better fucking pick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
as much as I would like to see this revamp schedule that I'm bringing up, I think the best thing you could have said out of everything that you talked about was how it would impact college basketball. That was the best point you brought up, because if you start a season in March or April, these players are probably not going to finish, let's say March Madness is over, boom, drafted, season starts.
Yeah.
That's not feasible unless you are drafting them with the intention of, well, you may not play right away. So
but their bodies aren't even ready. You know what I mean? They're basketball ready, but I mean, you're expect. I don't know, man.
I'm not.
Here's the thing: is the college basketball game's about ready to take a huge hit, anyways, and so
who's to say college basketball doesn't start earlier because of all this COVID stuff to compensate? It won't happen, because this would take months upon months, if not years, of negotiation to figure out an NCAA basketball schedule.
So now you have
to go with
falls.
the NBA.
Now you have fall with football and basketball.
And I'm not saying I
college.
agree with it. I'm going down the rabbit hole.
There's no money in that one.
I'm going down the rabbit hole. So
well,
it just sucks, man, because the only thing that makes sense is to take a hiatus off of basketball altogether. That's the only thing that would make sense to keep things running smoothly. Is you scrap the season and you just wait, which sucks. But like, it'll never take precedence over football. College football will always trump college basketball, even though those are super close for me, dude. Those are like neck and neck. NFL will always trump NBA, at least for me right now, even with my love of LeBron. Like, dude, the NFL is a fucking juggernaut. I mean, the NBA is getting close, but I mean, they are.
Would you rather go to the Super Bowl with your Miami Dolphins or go watch LeBron James win a championship?
Miami Dolphins Super Bowl. I love LeBron, bro. He's had enough. I haven't even fucking seen my Dolphins make it past the first round of the playoffs. Dolphins all day, CB. You know my love for LeBron, too. Dolphins. I didn't even have to think about it. Dolphins in the Super Bowl. Whoa. But you said Dolphins in the Super Bowl. You didn't say Dolphins win the Super Bowl.
I know.
Is that why you're trying to trip me up?
I mean, like, yeah, you just want to go to the Super Bowl. I get it. You don't want to win.
Still going Dolphins in the Super
Bowl. No, what the fuck were we talking about? We were talking about boobs.
Those are great. I like them all.
I don't know. It's just nuts to sit here and try to think about how you could do this whole revamp and what's going to happen. I just think that we're probably going to have a year of shitty basketball next year and angry basketball players.
Do you think they play a season? Do you think they finish up this mini season and then go right into another one?
I think that they're going to end up taking off games.
I was just getting ready to say, what do you think about delaying the start and just cutting off October to December or October?
That's what I
was
saying. That's the reason you come back in December and then you play like regular, but then you could just stop the season.
I missed the idea of you cutting games out of the season. I thought you meant start in December but play a full year.
So I did not iterate that.
Yeah.
But I mean, that to me, I mean, 82 is still a lot. You know what I mean? You can lose a fucking road game and be like, fuck it. That's the reason why they were able to do load management and feel comfortable with that shit. Because you're like, fuck it. We can lose this game. So what? I'm still fucking, we're still number 2 in our division, or whatever, or conference. So I think you cut out some games. I think you cut out about good 20 games. The team, 60.
Sure.
Run it till June. Then you can take that break again. Mm-hmm. Have the fucking finals come out or the playoffs come up in July, into the dog days of summer, right when football's kicking off. Now I know this is where it's going to really become a little bit of a pain in the ass for scheduling and revenues and market share for people wanting to go to games and all that stuff, because you're going to be going right up against playoff baseball and football at that point in time. But be a cool way to break up the season, have fun with it. So, let's see here. That was really about it for basketball, man. Like, they sounds like they got locked down to go into Disney World. And
that players, staff, coaches, including family, no one is allowed to walk around Walt Disney during the season. They're not allowed to do it. Like, it is literally a hotel, game, practice, hotel.
How do you think they rank their rooms?
Practice. I don't know.
Like, could you imagine LeBron not signing up in time
and just bought a building and just like, first floor, LA Lakers, second floor, LA Clippers,
that's the thing. I mean, think about that. and I mean, and here's the thing: you got the biggest player in the world, LeBron James, but yet he gets the fucking queen double.
Yeah, right. Twin. The twin. Yeah. If I had to take a guess, I would assume that they are allowed to maybe figure out housing. Like, if they have family maybe that live in the area, maybe they're allowed to do that. I mean, so they haven't talked about. Well, but being in a hotel, think of all of the people working there. If you think about it, you're going to be more exposed to outsiders in a hotel than you would be in a house at the end of the day. More exposure, staff. Like, there's tons more people in a hotel. No, situational. We don't know details. They haven't come out and actually stated, I don't believe, unless you've read something. I haven't read anything where they say players will be living here for this amount. Like, granted, they won't probably go into too much detail, but like, I haven't heard about anything like that.
I haven't heard any specifics. I just noticed this though. Guess when the draft is?
NBA draft?
Yeah.
Uh,
We normally have it in July.
I was gonna say, isn't that in the summer?
We normally have it in July.
Yeah.
This year it's gonna be October 15th.
Weird.
Wait. Right here. I'm on the NBA.com, and if I would have scrolled down a little bit further here, the 2020 regular season would most likely begin on December 1st.
NBA players will be housed at 3 specific hotels across Walt Disney World Resort that will be tested nightly for COVID.
Wow.
So they already have the 3. It's the Animal Kingdom Lodge Jambo House, Disney's Coronado Springs Resort, and Disney. I don't see the other one. So if anybody's trying to get weird, you know where to go.
I like for a company I used to work for, they put us up at Disney World over in the Epcot area, and I tell you what, that was probably one of the, and I got a nice bed, man. But that hotel bed was something different. Like, even my roommate I was staying with, he goes, I was like, yo, man, I was like, we going out there? He goes, nah, man. He's like, I'm going to get in and go to bed. He's like, I ain't never had a bed like that for my life. He's just like, I'm soaking this up. I was like, you're nuts, man. Like, I was like, I couldn't imagine going to go live just over a fucking bed, but, I guess teach their own.
It's the little things in life, CB.
I guess, man. What else we got?
I mean, from a quality standpoint, that's straight. I'm good with what we got.
Word.
We can definitely shout out Vince Carter, but I think we can probably make sure he gets his love, and then I'm good from there, man. I really am.
Look at that.
But for real, like while we're on basketball, like legend Vince Carter finally caps his 22-year NBA career. Since the Atlanta Hawks got snubbed out of the this new regular season that's going to be starting up, my man had to call it. I don't know about you, and I'm sure you're probably a Vince Carter fan like that, dude. I don't know anybody who hates Vince Carter unless you like hated greatness.
Yeah, I was gonna say I never had any problem with Vince Carter. I've always respected him and everything that he's ever done. I just remember him coming into the league and just, I mean, the fucking putting his fucking whole arm in there and just hanging on that shit. That was unprecedented back then. Mm-hmm. And I would say he is one of those few players that lived up to the hype of who he was. And yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. I believe he became the basketball player that we all believed that he was going to be. The fact that he didn't win the championship, okay, that's one thing that, that's a feather in the cap that, we probably all would have thought was going to happen with him. But there's a ton of fucking legends that haven't won a championship, man. Mm-hmm. And
especially in the NBA, man.
Yeah. So ton. I mean, he had good runs. I mean, shit, with that New Jersey team, he had a great run.
Mm-hmm. Him and Jason Kidd.
Kenyon Martin.
Was Jason Richardson on that roster?
Richard Jefferson.
Oh, Richard Jefferson. Thank you. I said Jason Richardson. Yeah, Richard Jefferson was on that roster.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. He did everything that I expected him to do, and he did way more. He did way more because he still was fucking playing at a high level.
43 years old.
Yeah, at a fucking high level. So
yeah.
I know. I'm sure we'll fucking gush all. Well, that's not crazy, but I'm sure we'll sound some more praises for Vince Carter as they go on. But yeah, that was really big. That and it sucks to know that he's done. So
yeah, all-time great. Good career. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Vince. All right, guys. We got a $124 in the books, and we walked in with absolutely nothing to talk about. So I do want to give a shout out to my man Clay for holding it down for the first hour, and did a very excellent job of recapping fights as Grandpa Watkins went to sleep. So
couldn't have done it without the co-host, man. You're in there
yeah.
for color commentary.
There you go. I tell you what, I'll be honest. Like, although I was as pumped about this fight, this week just fucking drained me, man. Just, I mean, everything, it's just everything that's going on in the world just really fucked with me a little bit, and I was just like, it's definitely had me away. So
I hear you. Well, there's a lot of positive things that are in movement right now, my man. So
yeah. And I mean, it is wild. So everybody, thank you again for joining us for another episode. I hope you had a great week. I hope you continue to have a great week. Be safe, stay healthy, and we're out. Peace.
Take care.